Well, now we're peeping Tom.
The guy is hectically making phone calls. Does that have something to do with my visit? If only I were a fly on the wall in his office.
Yeah, he's calling the police because he's got a peeping Tom looking in it.
The food and water bowls for the pet in the middle of the kitchen. Very hygienic.
Looks like this Kambursky guy is a hobby gardener. Even his garden hose is green.
I think the last garden hose I bought was a industrial model. It had what was called frog skin. Even if you ran over it with a lawnmower, it wasn't supposed to break it. Ooh, kitty cat.
Cats. Little hairy beasts that just sleep and eat. Now I can tape my cell phone almost everywhere.
Yeah. You ever put tape on the cat's paws?
The cell phone's camera function is on. A rare example of the European roaming dictaphone. Now I just need to somehow lure the cat into the kitchen. That should make our little pussycat real thirsty.
Ah.
Wonderful, it worked. Oleg is still on the phone, and the cat will be drinking for a while, and hopefully recording the conversation. I love it when a plan comes together.
A-team reference. Ooh. Yeah, kitty, kitty, kitty. We'll call the cell phone.
Let's see how the cat reacts to my cell phone's vibrate mode.
Vibrate. Nuts. Yep, there it goes. And right up a tree.
Oh, great. The cat is up in the tree, and my cell phone is stuck up there in a crotch of the tree. How am I supposed to get to it?
Oh, it's...
I can't reach it.
I could reach the cell phone with that, but if it drops those 5 meters or so, it's probably not going to be much good to me either, is it?
A little bit.
I've reinforced the opening of the bag with the bucket's handle. Just a little more tape around it. Yeah, that should do it.
Hey.
That could work.
Could work? Oh, there she goes. Bloop. Right in the bag.
Wonderful. Let's see if the recording of Oleg's phone conversation gets me anywhere.
Kalenkov isn't here anymore. No, Tunguska wasn't mentioned, but there wasn't any opportunity to either. Yeah, I just think someone urgently needs to take care of the matter. All right, so you'll call back then. Bye.
Well, that wasn't very productive. Okay, so this is what we have. Someone should be tending to some kind of matter. I hope the matter isn't me. Besides that, something about Tunguska. There was also something in the mail for Oleg. Maybe I should ask Max about that later.
Museum, isn't he? Museum.
Max Gruber said he'd be back at the museum sometime this evening. I should use the time to get some shut-eye. If my feminine intuition doesn't fail me, I could regret it if I don't.
Ooh, cutscene.
Did you get what I wanted?
Not yet. We've searched through everything but haven't found anything.
And Kalenkov?
Still nothing here either. We'll probably have to take other options into consideration.
I don't care what you do, as long as I get results. Don't disappoint me.
Strange. I feel like I'm always being followed. Even when I came home earlier, for a brief moment, I thought that I saw the face of that Konsky guy in the window.
Oh well, most likely it's my nerves. I hope Max heard something from my father.
She did say we gotta go talk to Max.
Hello? Can I interrupt for a moment?
You're not interrupting. On the contrary. Have you heard from your father?
No, unfortunately not. And last night I was attacked.
Attacked? Are you hurt?
No, nothing to worry about. But it must be because of something important.
Of course she
Do
was
you
hurt.
really have no idea what it could be?
No,
Knocked out.
He's been under a lot of stress in the last few days, but that's happened before. Looking back, there are plenty of ways to interpret it, but especially conspicuous? No, not really.
That's a shame. Yesterday evening you offered me your help. Does the offer still stand?
But of course. My name is Max, by the way.
Nina. But you know that, don't you?
So, ask away.
In the last few hours, I've heard the name Tunguska several times. Do you know anything about it?
Do you mean that Tunguska catastrophe from 1908?
Yes, could be.
At the beginning of the last century, something exploded there. The destruction must have been enormous, but even today nobody really knows what happened back then. Your father once took part in an expedition to Tunguska, but you probably know that, don't you?
We never really spoke much about what he used to do. After my mother's death, he never wanted to speak about his work in Russia anymore.
Oh, I didn't know. I'm sorry.
That's okay. It was a long time ago. She was killed in a traffic accident. Shortly after that, we came to Germany. I think my father simply wanted to leave all of that behind him.
And your father never spoke about his work in Russia? Didn't you ever ask him?
No. He asked me never to ask him again, and I kept my word, despite being very interested at times.
Well, I know a little more about it. In 1908, an unidentified object went down over the Siberian taiga. A huge area was completely destroyed by the shockwave and a wall of fire. The shepherds who lived there, the so-called Evenk, were either hurled through the air or burnt. There were hardly any survivors to witness anything. Several expeditions were started to find out the cause of this catastrophe, but despite all their efforts, no clues or any evidence was found that was at all helpful. And in time, several fantastic theories arose, from a meteorite colliding with Earth, to the appearance of an unknown type of energy, to the explosion of a spaceship. And off the top of my head, that is about everything that I can tell you on the subject. But somewhere in the archive I still have a few articles over the Tunguska phenomenon lying around. Shall I go and get them?
Yes, that would be sweet of you. Oleg spoke about it, and I read one of my father's mails to him. There was also something about it in there. Maybe it will bring me a little further.
Okay, I just have to get a few small things done here, and then I'll have a look around the archive.
Thank you very much. Yesterday evening, Eddie was mumbling something about people in black robes. I didn't take him very seriously at first, because his description was, let's say, a little strange. But I spoke to a little girl today who saw something similar last night. She even took a photo of the men in black robes. Unfortunately, there is not very much to see, but I'll certainly speak to Eddie about it again. Do you know where I can find him?
No, I have no idea. I haven't seen him all day. He's probably crept away somewhere quiet to think about it all.
You mean he's drinking again?
Yes, I'm afraid so. Unless...
Unless what?
Oh, nothing.
Nothing? Come on out with it, tell me.
Well, if those strange men in black noticed that he was watching them...
You mean they came back?
I don't know. At the moment, I have no idea what is actually happening here.
Well, this is something we have in common. I found this piece of paper amongst my father's records. Does it tell you anything?
LA60 AK19AL? That sounds like one of our exhibits. What about it?
No idea. I was hoping that you could tell me that.
Not spontaneously, but I can go and get the item. The note with the description of the diadem is missing, but you just had it in your hand. Well, I don't know any more about it either.
Thanks a lot. Can I take my time to have a look at it?
Of course, but please don't forget to put it back later. Otherwise your father will tear my head off.
If he still can.
Hey, stop thinking like that. We'll find him, I promise.
Yes, hopefully. There must be an important reason why Daddy kept a piece of paper with the description of the diadem at home. But what? And what is that about the true princess? He used to call me that sometimes. Is it a message to me that I should be able to understand somehow? Think, Nina. Think quickly. Does the name Oleg Kambursky say anything to you?
Kambursky? Oleg Kambursky? No, nothing. Should it?
Unfortunately, I don't exactly know that either. The things out of the archive about Tunguska.
Yes, I'll get going now. But it could take a while until I've sorted through the records.
No problem. I'll wait here.
No, you won't. Maybe he will. Okay, what we got?
There are 3 stones missing out of the diadem. It looks rather unspectacular, but it seems to be important for my father. I should find out why. There's a number on this note. LA60AK19AL. Under that, there's a description of the diadem that was probably robbed from an Oriental princess about 200 years ago. Originally, the 3 largest gemstones in the world had been incorporated into this diadem. On the left, an emerald. On the right, a ruby. And in the middle, an amethyst. My father wrote something on the back. The diadem will illuminate the real princess, and she will realize that money is not the greatest treasure. Looks kind of threatening. That red eye on the totem seems to be following me everywhere I go. I don't even believe in magic and all that stuff, but I find it creepy anyway.
Yeah, I don't believe in magic either.
If I swipe things from Max's office, he certainly won't keep helping me, but I'd like to get rid of this eye. So the spoke has now broken off.
Oh,
But
goody.
that eye now can no longer look at me in that evil way. I can only hope that Max doesn't notice.
Oh, he won't notice it.
On the outside, it seems totally normal, but on the inside, it's ice cold. Let's see what we find here.
What do we got? What do we got? Oh, we automatically took him. What is this?
The label is illegible, but judging from the skull and the other symbols, it must be extremely corrosive. Plaster of Paris. The text says to add water and vegetable oil and mix to achieve the desired consistency.
All right.
Luckily, the glass is acid resistant.
Most
Nevertheless,
glasses.
I'll make sure that I don't spill anything.
This will do it.
I'll put the stone into the acid and see how it reacts. The acid is doing its work admirably. The stone is beginning to corrode. I'll have to take it out of the acid at the right moment, otherwise the inclusion will go the same way as the rest of the stone. The light is refracted 1,000 times in the amethyst.
Okay, it is
It's
an amethyst.
beautiful. No idea why my father didn't remove it from its ugly stone encasement a long time ago.
Okay.
A red glass bead. At least, I think it's glass.
It's a ruby.
This must have broken off one of the lights at the construction site. Dark blue and very cool. I've laid both lenses over each other. They now have a green shimmer.
Makes green.
I've laid the broken glass over the lens glass, and now the lenses have a strong green tint.
Put these in here.
That thing doesn't fit in there properly. It keeps falling out.
Plaster of Paris. To get it to stick. Do you remember the water heater? What is in a water heater?
The radiator is lukewarm. If I turn the valve now, I'll ruin the whole floor. Oops. Maybe I shouldn't have opened the valve that far. A load of water has come out. The bowl is half full of water.
Yay! Oil.
I'll squeeze a bit of this oily, slimy liquid into the bowl.
Yeah, because technically we needed
Plaster of
vegetable
Paris.
oil.
The text says to add water and vegetable oil and mix to achieve the desired consistency. The putty is ready for use.
Putty on
I hope I know what I'm doing. That diadem has now been robbed of any beauty it once had. Great! It fits! Yes, that should hold.
I hope that thing is in the right position. As soon as the putty has dried, I'll only be able to get it off with brute force.
All right. Woohoo!
My replacement jewels are not really beautiful, but then modeling and handicrafts were never my greatest strengths.
I like it. Okay.
It brings a little illumination into the darkness.
Remember?
Whether I'll get any brighter? Wow, it works!
Ooh. It's a rainbow.
Somebody seems to have marked one of the rooms with invisible ink, and it has just been revealed by the colored light beam. I have no idea where this room 8 is located exactly because there's no map key, although it seems to be one of the rooms that are being renovated.
Oh, it's Max.
Wow, not bad. I only go away for a few minutes and you transform the museum into a light show.
Oh, I'm sorry, but...
That's okay. But what is all this stuff and what does it mean?
I don't exactly know either. But if this riddle really comes from my father, then he must have had an extremely good reason for the whole effort.
Have you found anything out yet?
I'm still working on it. And you? Is there anything new on the subject of Tunguska?
Not a lot. Here, I found these 2 articles.
The light beam has changed the color of the escape plan on the wall. A room with the number 8 seems to be highlighted. Is that one of the rooms that is currently being renovated?
Yes, and they've been renovating it for ages. The complete substance of this house is, unfortunately, no longer the best, and the workers are having a lot of problems completing the job.
Was there anything special in that room?
Well, no, not really. All of the exhibits from that room are currently stored in my office. Are you looking for something specific?
If only I knew.
We can go straight to my office. Maybe you'll find something there to help you out. Come on into my office and we'll have a look at the exhibits from room 8. Have a look around. All these things are out of the room that's being renovated.
Oh, goody. We get to look around again. Why didn't we do this in the first place? Ooh, maybe we should look in the refrigerator.
It's already been plundered.
No kidding.
If I remember correctly from the documentation on the Incas that I have seen recently, these kinds of masks were worn during ritual sacrifices. A pygmy warrior's shield from the year 1687 or 1688 in the region of Asia, or something like that.
That's pretty specific.
It looks ancient. Although I saw one like these in some Swedish furniture store only last week. I think this one, however, is ancient.
That could be an antique. Unfortunately, that's about all I can say about it. A vase from the Ming Dynasty. I broke one like this when I was a kid. I think that must be some sort of calendar, but how to read it is what I don't know. A rider? I always thought the Aztecs didn't have horses. Stranger and stranger. That thing has obviously just been set in there. It doesn't belong to the relief disc. I got that thing out of the Aztec relief disc in Max's office. I have no idea whether it is a medal or a coin or what, but the horseman looks like a skeleton.
Yeah. Alright. We got a new coin we have to solve. Where's the coin cabinet? Here we go. Uh-huh.
The coin seems to complete the set.
Yay! The coin completes the set. Now what? Oh, there's a hint.